Hello everyone, welcome back to Ashok Reads. Today I am going to talk about this wonderful book Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. If you don't know who Jay Shetty is, he is a very famous influencer around the world. So he basically practiced as a monk in Mumbai for some years and he eventually moved to UK and eventually to US as well to spread his wisdom and knowledge as a monk. I find his story fascinating because he actually retired from monkhood and started spreading his wisdom to a lot of people by using simple language. I I absolutely admire this man for spreading the complex Vedic wisdom to us, to young people like us, in a very simple language. So let's start with a wonderful story from this book, Think Like a Monk. So there is a story about a deer, basically. So the deer actually senses a wonderful smell somewhere, and it starts searching everywhere for that wonderful smell till she dies. So, but just before dying, she realizes that the smell actually which she has been searching for does come from its own pores. And that is how we human beings live our entire lives. We start searching for happiness and peace in the external things of the world. We search that happiness in a big house, in a big car, or in a lot of materialistic things. But to be honest, if we realize this simple truth that the happiness, the peace, the purpose that we all have been searching for exists within. So we have to go deep within instead of looking outwards. That is what Buddha taught as well, to look within. And also, one more wonderful story from this book is there is a monk who suggests us that be like salt. Let's say in food, if we add too much salt, the food is not tasty. Even if we don't even if you don't add the adequate amount of salt, the food is not tasty as well. And the food doesn't have the adequate amount of salt, we immediately point out that the salt is not enough. So but if the food is tasty, we never appreciate the amount of salt, or we never appreciate the salt itself. So the monk suggests us to be like salt. Like if we do mistakes, let's take blame. And if we do some wonderful things like salt, just like salt, let's not brag about ourselves. So that is one of the most important life lessons from this simple story of salt. There is also one more wonderful story that I have read from this same book. So the story goes like this. There is a woman who goes to a palace, and there exists a king. She asks the king that who is renting this palace now, and the king proudly says that I am not renting this palace. This is my own palace. And the woman asks the king, who lived here before you? And the king says, my father. And who lived before that? The king says, my grandfather. And the woman replies, now I don't see that you own this palace. You're obviously renting it for some years. After you, your son may live in this palace. So that story touched my heart. Like we all uh, as if we are living in this permanent world, we all cling to a lot of materialistic things. We cling to our houses, we cling to our village, we cling to our country, and those are all impermanent if we see. So yeah, just realize that everything is impermanent in this world. When we realize that simple truth of life, we start leading our lives with meaning and purpose. That is also one of the most wonderful stories that I have ever read. And there are also wonderful meditations in this book, which mainly focuses on our breathing and also our Vedic chantings. For example, Jay Shetty suggests us to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, which is a very sacred chant from our Sanatana Dharma. So he is just a wonderful man. So yeah, if you are looking to read a wonderful book this weekend, this is your go-to book. So if you find this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon. And yeah, let's wrap this today's video. And thank you so much for watching.